Hi, this is Shaman Weaver Sheila Baker, and I am super excited, and for two reasons. One is because I get to see the sun go down, and you will too. And the other is because I want to share with you about the journey process. Hi, Val. Hi, Susan. And I also want to tell you a little bit about how I came to believe that this process is so incredibly powerful. So I'm going to show you. Hi, nice to see all you guys. Indeed. So before we get started with the journey, I want to give you a little background about how I got to shamanism, why I think it's important, and how you can use it for your life. So this is the very first rattle I ever made, long before I knew anything about anything. Hi, Anita. What was happening for me physically was that I had fibroids in my uterus, and they wanted to do a hysterectomy, and I kind of like my organs where they are. So I said, no, I don't know, let me think about it. So while I was thinking about it, I went, they use ultrasound to be able to break things up. So why can't I rattle? I knew nothing. Why can't I rattle and break this up? So I made this rattle. My neighbor just happened to be kind of in the metaphysical. His wife was a naturopath. And so he happened to have the antlers. Look, they look like dancing legs. And then my boyfriend at the time, we happened to have a pheasant for dinner, and these are pheasant feathers. And I made this rattle, not knowing anything. So I'm talking about my early experience with shamanism, before I even knew there was such a thing. But I figured I had a tumor in my uterus, so fibroids. And rather than undergo surgery, I thought, what will break that up? Well, vibration, right? Vibration breaks it up. So 20 minutes a day, rattle over my belly, rattle over my abdomen, and gone, broken up, no surgery necessary. So taking that same idea, what I came to know once I discovered shamanism. I had been doing the work long before I knew that I could have a drum. There's my drum. Long before I knew I could have that. Long before I knew that I could have rattles to shake things up. Long before that, I had a knowing. And when I finally got to studying astrology with Sheila Belanger, who lives on Whidbey Island, I found home and went, oh, I've been doing this for a long, long time. So I found that the rattle works. Now, what I want to tell you about the monotonous drum beat that we use for shamanic journeying. Well, lo and behold, science has found that vibration affects the brain. And a particular vibration, the vibration of shamanic journeying, puts the brain into a theta brainwave. So listen for a moment. So that, and what they also said is that after about, they said 7 minutes, but I've got to tell you that when I started teaching shamanic journeying, it took about 7 to 12 minutes for someone to get into the theta brainwave state. Now, 3 or 4 minutes, boom, you're already there. So I love that science has gone and figured out that ancient shaman had something going on. They used that heartbeat. They used it with drums. They used it with rattles. They used it with sticks on the ground. It was one of the first ways that we connected with our heartbeat. studying dance movement therapy. You might not know, but I'm a dance movement therapist as well as a psychotherapist and a registered nurse. So all of those modalities came together to bring me to Shaman Weaver, which I knew when I first of all started to create this, that there was something that was going to be woven together. You know, when we create, we don't just bring one tool forward, we bring many forward. So for me, shamanism culminated all of the seeking that I'd been doing. I was looking for the oldest way that we connected with the divine. So I studied religion. I became Anglican. Had my first Holy Communion when I was little in the Catholic Church. I became Jewish. I was really a seeker. And so I studied Wicca because it seemed to me at the time that was all I knew. This was the oldest way. So I studied that. So now I know how it is to command energy. And really, it's all energy, right? So when I drum for you, your brain goes into a theta brainwave. And in that brainwave, you have access to what in shamanism is called non-ordinary reality. In non-ordinary reality, the physical world laws here don't work. You know, you can fly out over a waterfall and out into the cosmos, zoom around out there, come back and have useful information for your life. You know, one of the really poignant things that happened to me a number of years ago was one of my students was just not not moving forward. And so he did a journey and asked, and he was told, stop drinking Coca-Cola. So, I didn't know that that was part of what was going on, but his spirit guides knew. And when he did that, there was an incredible shift in his energy, in his vibration. He dropped some weight and picked up a girlfriend who he married. And so your spirit guides know what there is for you. So that's how I got here. First of all, by, doing this since I was 5, and then figuring out, wow, look at me, I can have a drum, and I can teach you how to utilize the shamanic journey to answer and solve any problem, to get a perspective from a way higher or way lower, When mouse looks, they look up close. When eagle looks, they look up high. They have different skills. So different beings come for you with their different skills to help you. So what's going to happen next is I'm going to have a sip of tea, my cute cup. And what we're going to do is, if you don't have a pen and paper close, grab something, because you're going to want to write this down, and I'm going to leave you a space of time to do that. When I journey, I get chilly, so I like to have a blanket. So if you've got a shawl or a scarf or something, just go ahead and grab that. I also like an eye covering because what it does is it presses on my eyes, and so that allows my eyes to soften. That softening allows my left brain to settle down a little bit. So I'll tell you about that, and maybe you can, as you gather your things. And I like to lay down when I journey, because I don't want to think about my body. I want to just be in that space where I can let go and be able to journey. Hey, Carrie Jo. So what we're doing right now, good timing for you hopping on, is that we're going to go and have a shamanic journey. And I've suggested that people get their an eye covering if they have one, pen and paper, and also a blankie, because sometimes you get chilly when you're journeying. So grab that stuff, all of you, and go ahead and lay down. And what I'm going to tell you as you're getting comfortable is that your left brain needs some information. So I'm going to give it to you as you get comfortable and relaxed and in a place where, hi Paula, hop on, get comfy, we're about to journey. So you want to get comfortable. You're going to have a lot of resistance to what happens in your journeys. You'll be hearing, well, that's not possible. And what I want you to say to that is thank you. And what you're going to also hear, well, that's incredible, that's not possible. Any of that, you forgot to bring milk, you forgot to get this, you need to do that. Just say thank you to all of that. The beautiful part about when someone, you were saying something to someone and they acknowledge you with a thank you, there's nowhere else to go. That conversation ends. So when you thank them for being there for you, then that's the end of that conversation. There's not a resistance. So anything that takes you out of the journey, just give it thanks and come back to the journey. Now, the drum beat will soften at the end until it becomes very, very faint. When you notice that transition, return from your journey. Give gratitude for everything that happened, whether you understand it all or not, and then return to the place that you started your journey. So that part you're going to get, that's not possible, just give thanks, return to the journey. When you get comfortable, I'm going to just invite you to take a breath and inhale deeply down into the belly through the nose, and then exhale out through a little Cheerio of lips. And you can even place your hands on your belly if you like. And our intention this evening is to ask for a guide who's going to assist you in whatever it is that's primarily on your mind, what's got your attention. And so the way that we do this is that you're going to use your imagination. So I want you to imagine placing yourself in a spirit canoe, and that's a birch bark canoe. Notice if you're sitting or standing, or how it is that you're in your canoe. On your right hand side, you're going to invite your male ancestors, however they appear to you. Mine appears as a bear. Yours can appear any way they choose. On your left-hand side, invite your female ancestors, however they appear. In the bow in front of you, if you already have a guide, ask that guide, place that guide in the bow. Otherwise, if you're journeying for a guide, leave the bow in front of you open. I ask that you see your guide 3 times and then ask them, what information do you have for me? Behind you, set your protection, whatever that is for you. No 2 people have the same. And set your intention to ask for a guide for whatever is most poignant in your life at this moment. And so it begins. Find a way to bring your journey to an end. Return to the same place that you began. Give thanks for all that happened. And take just a minute to write a few notes. You may not have enough time to write the whole journey, but take just a couple of moments. All right. So, for those of you who joined in when I was drumming, I hope you were just able to catch the wave and get into the theta brainwave that is access to an altered state. And I was watching Mind Valley Academy, and they were talking about the neuroscience and the vibration and how the vibration affects the brain. And when the brain responds to, a monotonous drum beat, like the shamanic journey, like the drum beat for the shamanic journey, it puts itself somehow into a theta state. In the theta state, we have access to altered states of reality. You know, there's many more colors than we can see. Other animals can see colors that we can't. They can see in ways that we can't. So this vibration of the monotonous drum beat, and those of you who've journeyed with me know about this, but what I wanted to talk to you about, this is the core of shamanism. And this is the way that shaman connect with the divine. They get inspiration. They move their tribe. They heal. They educate. They learn. They grow. They evolve. And so you can use this same process that we went through in a very short little period of time. And you might have had a profound experience. You might have had where nothing much happened. Some people, boom, they go right there. Other people need a little coaxing, you know, we're all like this. So imagine you being able to use this process, this shamanic journey process, to propel you forward in your life. And that's what I am, that's what how I began my practice, and how I became a soulpreneur. My In the early days, my thing was healing the planet one soul at a time, because I do soul retrievals. I still do soul retrievals. So if you feel like you need one, let me know. The basis of shamanism is that monotonous drumbeat, that access to infinite possibilities. So you come to a place in your life where you're not quite sure what to do, or you are sure. You want to get out of the rut that you're in. You're stuck. You don't know how. Shamanic shapeshifting is the perfect thing for you to do, because in it, first of all, you get a trusted guide. You build a rapport, a relationship. You ask, you test out the information that they give you, because they will give you enough information that you can take an action. So you do that. So you begin to form a relationship. And over a very short period of time, this time it's 9 weeks, you are not the person that you went into shamanic shape shifting with, because you have goals and you begin to achieve them. You take action, and the action is divinely inspired, because spirit wants you to be out here being a spiritual entrepreneur, shining your gifts, even if your desire isn't to be a spiritual entrepreneur, but to shine your gifts, to be authentic, to live full on, and to be excited about getting out of bed every day. So if that's not you, why not? And I'm telling you, I've seen lots of people shapeshift their lives. So I hope you enjoyed the journey. And I'm happy to hang around for a few minutes. And if anybody has questions or any of that, I just want to be respectful of your time. I offered half an hour. For you, if that's what you'd like, and so if you have any questions, let me know. So the other thing before I jump to that is that I'm offering a 20-minute consultation to see where you are and where you want to be. Thanks for the love. And if I happen to have the right vehicle to get you there. So if you want a consultation and to get really clear about that, because without clarity, you can't make a plan because you don't know where you're going. So I'm happy to do that for you. So let me know if that's something you might like. And what I'll do is I'll put a link up here for you so you can pop onto my calendar for the 20 minutes. So has anybody got any questions, thoughts, ideas? Did you like the journey? Did you get something out of it? Yeah. So the process that I just told you is applicable to everything. And you can use it for relationships. You can use it for business. You can use it for marketing. You can have a guide for every process in your life. So thank you all for joining me, and Bliss, I hope you enjoyed the journey. And let me know if you want to join. If you want to join Shamanic Shapeshifting. Bliss, everybody. Bye-bye.